What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to more Black Desert. My name is John, and today we have some news to talk about. So, as you guys know, as of a few days ago or this week, they came out with a patch on NA and EU for PvE buffs for basically all the classes, right? And a few days later, they come out with another Global Labs patch notes, and DKs are getting nerfed. And so it's like, PvE buffs, and then 2 days later, they're getting nerfed. So I wanted to talk about that and just give you my thoughts and opinions and just like all of this happening. So we have the Global Labs patch notes on the screen right now. I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can read it as well. And even if you don't, just you Google Global Labs patch notes and then you could find the official site. So yeah, it's weird because I think my understanding of why they're doing the nerf is because we're getting new add-ons. Well, not new add-ons, they're just changing some of the abilities, and they're trying to like scale it and make it balance with the new add-ons, even though we don't even have it yet on NA. So that's kind of weird how they're doing it. And it's just really odd that DKs of all classes are getting nerfed, and I think a few others as well that I've read about, but I'm more interested in the DK changes. But yeah, there's a few other things that are getting changed this patch as well that I wanted to talk about. We'll talk about the PvE changes later. So let me find it real quick. By the way, this is the Global Lab patch notes, and I just Google translated it to English, so if it's like broken, I'll try my best to translate it the best I can. Okay, so let's scroll down and find... Okay, Dark Knight. So, most of these changes are for Awakening, and it's really odd because in my last video, I even said that the DK changes for Awakening were really good. Not to the point where it's like better than like Wusa or anything, but I just thought they were good and it made your rotation line up and everything. And apparently they thought it was overpowered and they're nerfing it. So that's really odd because I actually had some videos like of grind spots testing everything on Awakening, and knowing that it's getting changed in about like 2 weeks, it makes me just like, oh, why do I even bother? I was just ready to edit and upload those, and it's like, nope, they're getting nerfed, so I guess I'm just deleting those videos. It's going to be irrelevant soon. But yeah, Succession is not getting touched, which that's fine, I guess. But Awakening is just fun. And all of these skills right here are Awakening DK's abilities. And yeah, it's just weird how they're like, they think it's overpowered, but then we have Wusa that's been #1 PvE for like a year almost. But yeah, so if you are playing Awakening, make sure to actually get what you want done. And you know, one thing I do on a regular is I actually check the Black Shrine. So as you guys know, this is the Land in the Morning Light, the weekly bosses that we do. So one way to gauge how good PvE is, and this is not necessarily of grinding, but these are something that I just look at in general. I just go over here and then look at like 5, 6, and 7s. Well, I guess 5 is what most people do for DK. And just see where everyone's at. Like, the best players are playing what and what's happening. So, like, it's a pretty decent balance of everything. So I don't think it's much of a problem in everything. So the fact that things are getting nerfed is wild to me. I actually did bosses yesterday, and I actually cut down my time on Songashi 6 by like a good minute and a half on Succession, which is actually kind of wild. And so yeah, it's one of those things. Pearl Abyss, all you have to do if you want to balance it for bosses, just check the leaderboards and see what people are playing. And as for like actual grind spots, I don't know, just test it between classes. That's how you do it, but it is what it is. It's actually just kind of annoying because I had plans for other videos, and now we can see that it is all different. And if you want to actually watch the other video that I made talking about like the Succession and Awakening buffs that they added, there's a video. I'll try to leave a link in the description to that as well, if I remember. And so you can compare it side by side to see how much things are changing. And so I think there's a few other things coming up in the future that I think are actually good changes. These are not class balances. But one thing I read was that, you know, the Kudum's heart or the Karanda's heart, those things that drop from the world boss, those are actually going to be sellable soon. And it's not for a lot either. It's like 500 mil, which I think is good for people who are still waiting for their Garmoths and everything. It's a good like temporary thing to have. So I think that's actually being added. And they talked about War of the Roses. Dude, this isn't even available yet on NA and EU as far as I understand. I believe this is like Korea and the other regions that aren't NA and EU yet. So all of this, literally irrelevant content for now. As far as I understand that we don't even have it yet. Next we have... What is all this? War of the Roses stuff. Arena of Solaire is going to be coming back, and I believe they said it's going to be permanent, and there's going to be practice hours for, like, you know, the non-ranked modes. So I think that this is actually a good thing because I really enjoyed Arena of Solaire, but it's weird how they had it on like the weirdest times of the day. I think they try to balance it for like people who work in like prime time hours, which I think is good, but they should just like keep it on all the time. And just like, even if they don't, like, I understand ranked being on certain hours, that's how you get to most people to queue up, but like practice modes, non-ranked, like casuals, they have that in other games. And so I'm glad that they're adding this as a permanent feature as far as I understand. Every time I do Arena of Solaire, or every season, they try to add new maps. And if you guys have played last season, remember that one Land of the Morning Light map where it's like that mansion to house place that no one liked? They even took it out of the rotation mid-season. I was just like, bruh, why is that a thing? So if I remember all of these maps, these are fine. As long as there's no Morning Light, mansion house, it's fine. All of these maps are good. Don't really have anything bad to say about that. I'm just glad that Solaire practice modes are going to be open permanently. That's fine. I personally don't really like that Jade Starlight Forest map, but maybe that's just me. But everything else is fine. Arena of Solaire rewards are going to be added. Well, I mean, they always had it, but it's going to be changed, so that's good. Let's see, what else are they adding? Customs for Solaire, which is... I thought that you can queue with other people. I guess it's just like private matches. I think that's fine. And then... Boss Exchange. So this is actually one that I noticed a while ago, but I didn't really think it was a big deal. Before, like, you know how when you turn in your auras for memory fragments, you have to go to certain spots depending on which one you're going to turn it in. And now it's all going to be condensed, and you could just turn it all into one area or one NPC, which I think is a good thing. Saves time, nice quality of life. It's the blacksmith in every town. You turn in all the auras, and then you get your memfrags. So I think that's fantastic. They're also making it so you could turn in like 100 auras for a boss armor, and you could turn it in multiple times now. Like before, it used to be once per family. I think it's now endless as long as you have 100. Realistically, though, just get the 100 memfrags, sell the 100 memfrags, buy the thing you need, and I think you still end up with more money. But keep in mind, just make sure to check the market. At least on NA, that's probably the better idea. So this is a very good change, quality of life, and I think they're actually changing monsters into Black Shrine, so basically Land of the Morning Light weekly bosses. I have a lot to say about the Morning Light bosses. We'll talk about that in another video. But basically, they're kind of doing tweaks now. And so let me see. The Golden Pig boss in the Black Shrine improved to hit more precisely. I personally didn't really like the Golden Pig boss because I like the bosses that are, you know, mechanically challenging, not like a Mugi level dumb, but like I would say that my favorite boss is the Sonkashi one because it feels like it's the most balanced and you could make mistakes and not get one shot. Well, you can, but like it doesn't always happen. Whereas other things have a lot of one-shot mechanics where it's like you don't even know what happened until it's way too late. So Golden Pig King is one of those bosses where I think that it was just kind of iframe check, and I don't know. I just didn't really like it. There's no mechanics. The only thing is stay in the circle, AoE, dodge everything, iframe the big swings, and then that's it. So yeah, apparently my understanding of improved to hit more precisely is it's more telegraphed, and it's not like you couldn't see it before, but it's just like when it swings, sometimes you didn't even take damage. So I sort of noticed that. So consolidated to 33 to 60% of the previous level. Because there are no damage numbers in this game, we have no idea what this means. We kind of just have to trust them on it. It's like one of those just trust me, bro moments. And it can hit, a single hit can cause more damage than before. That's not what anyone wants to hear, to be honest. Melody of the Ocean. I actually want to do this at some point because I have my Carrack. I just haven't been available to do ocean content. I've just been grinding. But yeah, apparently it is a ocean world boss, and I didn't know it had like a timer spawn. I thought it was just like, you know, one of those Goldmont pirate ships that you just find everywhere in the ocean, or something like, I don't know, sea monsters. But apparently this is supposed to be a boss, and you're gonna have notifications to showcase that, and I want to try it one day, so we'll make a video when the changes go through. I actually have no idea how it works right now. Or, you know, hold on. Let me actually just double check this. I want to see in the ocean. Where is it? Where would this boss be? That's not it. I don't even know where the boss is. Like, where would it be? Also, they changed it to tell you, like, where everything is. So for all of you who are beginners in the bartering, this is actually very nice. Usually the way it goes, unless they changed it in the past year, is if you are in Margoria and you're doing like your crow coin dailies or like your dailies, you go from here to right, and then you go up and down into like a counterclockwise. Yeah, so counterclockwise, and then you sail back to the bottom and down here. I think they changed the whole wave patterns and like the sea waves and wind, but I haven't tested it in a year. I think I'll just go do that at some point and make a video. But yeah, I don't even know where the boss is for the melody siren thing, so we're gonna have to find that at some point, and I'll figure it out. We'll make a video. It'll be cool. Next, Laura's daily quest to weekly quest. I'll be honest, I used to do this, the daily one, to get the, what is it, the thing that you make the Monos accessories from, and then I just chose not to do them anymore. It's not a hard quest, it's just, it was like kind of boring and tedious. Technical notes function. Basically, you can add notes to your skills if you don't know your key combos or you're just learning a new class. I think this is a good thing. So that's quality of life. Like down here, it would be like Shift Q, Shift E. Like I think as far as I understand, you can just add text to your skills to tell you what buttons to press. I think that's good. Can't wait for that to come out. I think it's neat. Something changed with the Black Spirit Adventure. Function has been added to automatically roll the Black Spirit dice during the Black Spirit Adventure. This could be a good thing or a bad thing if you are trying to min-max and like literally turn everything in. Cool. Let me tell you how we do this now. No one watches this full animation. What you do, you roll your dice, close out of the window, and you still get the same thing and then redo it. That saves you a few seconds every time. Yeah, I think that's about it. But a lot of quality of life and visual changes. But yeah, mostly I wanted to talk about like the Dark Knight changes. It's kind of upsetting. I hope they roll that back a little bit. I just don't even understand why Dark Knights were like, why they thought Dark Knights were OP when everyone knows it. You know it. I know it. Korea knows it. Every server knows what classes are the OP ones, and it's not Dark Knight, that's for sure. But they're the ones getting huge awakening nerf. So I just wanted to bring that out there and give you my thoughts and opinions on that. Knowing this, I hope all of you have a good 2 weeks on Awakening before this happens, and then I have a feeling that most people are going back to Succession, unless you just really like Awakening. But yeah, I actually thought it was a good change until this happened. Yep, that's all I wanted to talk about today. So thanks so much for listening, and yeah, that was about this week's Global Labs notes, and hopefully they do something about it. But yep, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Peace.